Because this is the fun part, whether good news or bad, the budget always provides a whole lot of material for the nation's political cartoonists. This year's budget hasn't disappointed on that front. So to run us through some of the good, the bad and the very ugly, we're joined in the studio by Mark Knight, celebrated political cartoonist for the Herald Sun. Mark, always good to see you. Good morning.
Morning, Virginia.
And this is one of the great challenges. We discussed this with Mike Smith, former editor of The Age, in the last hour. For cartoonists, you get a stack of documents, obscure, detailed financial figures, and you have to come up with graphic splendour. How do you get from that to something like this?
OK, first thing, don't read it. Don't read the budget papers.
Good.
Yeah, just take all the anecdotes, the innuendo. I like to mix in a good, visual metaphor. So I skirt around what's in the popular culture at the moment. What movies have we got? And I discovered by chance that launching the day after the budget was the movie Goliath, about something that's going to destroy our lives. And I thought, that sort of equates with the budget.
That's very nice indeed. So what you just sort of ring up the political commentators and say, oi, what's kind of the headline out of this and how do I turn it into my metaphor? There you are there. There's the Mark Knight on the front page of the Herald Sun today.
Well, actually, it works the other way. I go away, I come up with a drawing and then I take it to my editors and they go, how are we going to write a headline for this? Budget slayer, they're saying, all these great lines. But in the end, we came up with tax, axe, fix. And as a positive note, my editor did say to me, could you put Tony in his little high-vis vest, which shows he is constructing something?
Really? You weren't tempted to put him in the red Speedos, as every other cartoonist seems to do?
Look, I held back. I mean, as you can see in my cartoon, restraint.
You did.
I really restrained
It's a
myself.
much more sober Mark Knight there. You've gone the Shrek. It's interesting. This was a visual image for the Treasurer quite some time ago. Then it disappeared. You all stopped drawing him as Shrek. Why has he come back as Shrek?
Well, he lost weight, and so we started drawing him thinner, and it just didn't look like Joe Hockey.
OK, it didn't work for you.
Yeah, didn't work at all. And so then I took the green out of him, I drew him in a couple of other ways, then slowly the little ears started to come back, and I felt comfortable, my readers felt comfortable.
Mark, this is interesting. You're speaking as if it's something that's out of your control.
Well, I think as Lunig once said, we really don't understand our own drawings. It comes from here to here and...
the hand starts moving and before you know it, you've drawn little ears and, oh my goodness me, he's Shrek.
We have absolutely... That's how it works, basically.
Let's take a look at the front page of the Sydney Morning Herald. And Shakespeare, of course, is a cartoonist. I think it is, yes, we have Shakespeare here on the front.
I know John.
You know John very well, of course. And we've got aspects of Fat Cat pinstriped cigar smoker mixed with the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Again,
I think Shakespeare's shown great restraint with metaphors there. He could have gone to town, but he hasn't.
Yes.
A chainsaw, well, that's nothing in cartooning. That's a fundamental accessory at budget time.
Yes.
But I do like the clever way he's cut out the shape of Australia.
That's right, and he's bursting out of the newspaper. That's nice, isn't it?
It's sort of 3D. I think, newspapers are competing with online now. I think what John has tried to do there is animate the cartoon and get Joe Hockey coming out of your Sydney Morning Herald and cutting your jugular.
How many of you guys are doing your work now on computers?
Well, for example, mine, I sketch it in pencil.
Yep.
It's a big pencil sketch and I render it, but then rather than watercolouring it, I scan it into Photoshop and I paint it on screen.
Oh, do you?
Yeah. And then, well, look, technology is moving so quickly, and when you're in a budget, people are coming in and saying, we've got to chop this, we've got to fit this. So when you have it on the computer and you have it all in different pieces, like Tony Abbott is one piece, that's a different piece. You can move it all around.
You can merge and mix and match and make it line up. Let's have a look at the front page of The Age. John Spooner, of course, for years now has always illustrated the budget for that newspaper. And there he is. It's not an octopus. It's sort of it's a Swiss Army knife.
It's a Swiss Army knife.
Yes.
Look, it's a very brave piece for page one. I love the idea. I think it's fantastic. And every implement that's coming out of the Swiss Army knife is something that you can kill yourself with.
Yes.
Which,
or cut or hack or do over.
Yes. Nice one by John.
Daily Telegraph as well, we can take a look at now. And interestingly, the cartoon is there. And there we've ignored all the tempting metaphors with the cigars and the like. We've instead gone the doctor.
That's right. Yeah, no cigars. Again, budget day, blood. My editors always say to me, look, you can have axes and things, but not too much flowing blood on the front page because, you know, children are reading the newspapers. So, yeah, look, that's not. I think they're very, very brave to draw Joe Hockey with a hat on, or anybody with a hat on, because it obscures their likeness. And no Shrek ears.
No Shrek ears, but the likeness, I think, is very good, even if it's a rather mean-looking likeness. Let's have a look at Bill Leake's absolute winner on the front page of The Australian this morning. In post-coital delight, I assume that's what's being implied here, with cigars in hand and the Australia-shaped headboard. Here's a likely pair.
And it's so unusual for Bill to go down that track.
Oh, isn't it? Is there a politician in the country he has not pictured between the sheets?
No.
No.
Look, I don't think so. I think...
He's got them all in bed at one stage.
Yeah, and they all mix and match beautifully. And look, Matthias Cormann is coming into his own now. I think we're loving him. He's going to be a real cult figure for cartoonists.
Well, but look at the face to draw. Matthias Cormann has that wonderful big square jaw. He's got that high forehead, very strong features.
Flat on the top.
Flat hair on the top. That's an absolute gimme for a cartoonist, isn't it?
Well, and of course, what cartoonists are all tapping into now is his Arnold Schwarzenegger accent.
It took you some time. Gee, it took you a while. The rest of us were onto that ages ago.
Terribly sorry about that. But a lot of us will draw him with... I draw him in the full leather jacket, the black sunglasses, whatever.
From Terminator 1?
Terminator 1.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and he actually phoned me the other day. He's quite taken with it.
And he wanted to buy one, didn't he?
I'm sending him a print.
Okay. Now that we've got you here and it's just us talking this morning, how many phone calls do you get from politicians, those vain creatures saying, can you send me the original? How many?
You do get a few.
Yes.
A lot of them go through their PAs, but to, I guess, the Finance Minister's credit, he wanted to speak to me, which I thought was very brave. But the psychology's changed, where years ago you would get an abusive call.
Yep.
I think the psychology now is to not give the cartoonist any oxygen, buy the original, and set the cartoonist back on their feet, because it's like, you want the original to hang on your wall? This is supposed to make you cry.
It's the 15 minutes of fame thing, isn't it? All news are good news. Well, I'll out myself here, because I have to say that on the News Breakfast program, we also made a phone call to you, Mark Knight, and we requested a copy of this cartoon. And it seems that your prediction has come to pass about budget cuts and the way that the ABC might be treated. Here's us poor sad sacks. Don't know why you don't like my glasses. They're not that damn big.
Virginia, I've tried to redeem myself
as
a cartoonist, and I have had another crack at you. And
dear God, please don't do this on live TV.
As they say in cooking shows, I prepared this earlier. You are, can I say this, a woman, a handsome woman.
Oh, a handsome woman. Oh, my God, you know what they mean when they say that.
An attractive woman. And there is not too much to hang on you like politicians. The only thing I could accessorise was your new glasses.
Yep, that'll do. Thank you so much.
I haven't redeemed myself,
Michael,
have I?
I know you're somewhere out there in Canberra. Please help me. Look what he's done to me. Look what he's turned me. He's turned me into VT TV glasses.
I love it. Mark Knight, perfect. Virginia, and I've always thought you are such a handsome woman.
Yeah, thanks, Michael. Thank you. Just twist that knife just a little bit more. I've still got the button. I can still control you, you know. Mark, I'm going to say thank you, nonetheless, in spite of this grotesque image that we have between us. Thank you for coming and thanks for your stringent analysis there of cartoonists.
Thank you, Virginia.
Nice to see you.